Have you ever wondered how institutional traders consistently identify high-probability supply and demand zones before the market makes its move? Welcome back to the ComLucro channel. In this video, we are going to break down that exact process using smart money concepts, so you can understand why price reacts where it does, not just where it appears attractive on the chart. You will learn 10 clear and practical rules to identify institutional supply and demand zones with precision. Follow the framework step by step, wait for confirmation, and you will start seeing the market through a true institutional lens. If you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you do not miss what comes next. And let us know in the comments what topics you want us to cover next. You will also find links to our trusted partners in the description. When you use those links, you help support the channel and keep this content moving forward. Rule number 1 is the break of structure. To begin with, this rule is very simple and easy to understand. The zone must be responsible for a clear break in market structure. Let us see how this plays out on a real chart. Imagine the market is in an uptrend, with price consistently forming higher highs and higher lows. Now, pay close attention. Price pushes higher and breaks above the previous swing high. This movement represents a clear break of structure and signals strong buying pressure in the market. So, what do we do next? Instead of reacting immediately, we look back on the chart and identify where that impulsive move started. That origin point defines our demand zone. This is the area where buyers stepped in with enough strength to break market structure. But here is the most important part. We do not chase price. Instead, we remain patient and wait for price to return to that zone. When price comes back, we observe how it reacts. If we see the right type of confirmation, that is our signal to enter the trade. And do not worry, we will explain exactly how to enter and which confirmations to look for in detail later on. Rule number 2 is the flip zone. A flip zone occurs when supply turns into demand or when demand turns into supply. These zones are especially powerful because they often lead to high-probability trade setups. Let us move to the charts to see how this works. Imagine the market is in a downtrend, with supply clearly in control. Price breaks structure to the downside and forms a new supply zone. After that, price pulls back into this zone and attempts to continue lower, but it fails to break the previous low. At that moment, demand starts to step in. Price changes direction, breaks structure to the upside, and continues moving higher. This is a textbook example of a flip zone. The key takeaway is to mark this area. If price returns to the zone and shows confirmation, it becomes a strong level to look for long trades. Patience matters here. Wait for a clear failure of supply and visible strength from demand. Rule number 3 focuses on sweep zones. Sweep zones are about identifying where large players are actively moving the market. Let us simplify the process. Price is trending higher, printing higher highs and higher lows. Then a pullback occurs and equal lows are formed. These levels are common areas where retail traders place their stop losses. Price briefly moves below those lows, triggering the stops and releasing a wave of sell orders into the market. But here is the key point. Price does not continue lower. Instead, it quickly reverses direction. The reason is that institutions are stepping in and using that liquidity to build large buy positions. Once price rallies upward and breaks the previous high, we have confirmation of strong demand. At that point, we mark the zone and wait for price to come back. When price reacts there, that becomes our entry signal. Simple in concept, but extremely powerful in execution. Rule number 4 is inducement. Inducement is a classic move designed to trap traders into poor entries before larger players drive price in the opposite direction. Here is how this appears on a chart. Price is trending higher, forming higher highs and higher lows. After that, a small pullback develops, creating a minor low. Early buyers step in and place their stop losses just below that low. Price then dips slightly below the low, sweeps those stops, and immediately reverses with strong momentum. This is the inducement move. Why does this occur? Institutions need liquidity to fill large orders without causing excessive slippage. That is why price often reacts so aggressively after inducement. The key lesson is simple. We do not enter zones blindly. Instead, we wait to see if inducement takes place. When it does, the probability that the zone will hold increases significantly. Rule number 5 is stacking zones. Stacking zones refers to aligning zones across multiple time frames to identify stronger areas where institutional activity is more likely. Let's look at a clear example. On the daily chart, we identify a demand zone where price initiated a strong upward move. Now, zoom into the 4-hour chart. Inside that daily zone, price creates another demand zone. This alignment forms a stacked zone, which is a strong example of confluence. When zones overlap across time frames, it often indicates a higher concentration of resting orders. As a result, price is more likely to react when it returns to that area. This is where we patiently wait for confirmation and then look for a precise entry. Rule number 6 is higher time frame alignment. Higher time frame alignment is extremely powerful. When multiple time frames point in the same direction, your trades naturally carry a higher probability of success. Begin your analysis on a lower time frame, such as the M5 chart. At first glance, price may appear to offer a clean sell setup with clear lower highs and lower lows. However, do not rush into the trade. Take a step back and zoom out to the M15 chart. You may notice that price has just tapped into a strong M15 demand zone that has not yet been broken. At that point, the structure on M5 can suddenly begin to flip bullish. The lesson here is critical. Always respect the higher time frame. When lower and higher time frame setups align, you are no longer trading a single pattern. You are trading in harmony with the broader flow of capital and time behind the move. Rule number 7 is optimal entry zones. This is where precision becomes critical. Instead of entering trades randomly inside a zone, we want to focus on where pullbacks are most likely to end. To explain this properly, we are going to use a short concept taken from another video on the channel, where we break down the ICT trading model in detail. You will find the full video linked in the description. This model is known as ICT's optimal trading zone and optimal trade entry. It is a structured trade entry framework built around price swings, Fibonacci retracements, and market structure. The goal is to identify the most efficient area for entry, allowing traders to enter with precision instead of chasing price or reacting too late. After a valid impulsive move breaks market structure, we apply the retracement tool to define the correction range. The optimal trading zone, typically located between the 61.8% and 78.6% levels, highlights areas where institutional participation is most likely to return in the direction of the dominant trend. By combining market direction, price swings, and optimal entry placement with concepts such as fair value gaps and multi-time frame confirmation, this model creates a clear and repeatable framework for high probability trade entries. Rule number 8 is fresh versus mitigated zones. Fresh zones are areas that have not been touched, which usually leads to much stronger reactions when price returns. For example, a fresh supply zone is one that has never been traded into before. When price comes back for the first time, the reaction is often sharp and aggressive. Now, compare that to a zone that has already been tested several times. In those cases, the reaction tends to be smaller and weaker. The focus should always be on fresh, unmitigated zones, especially when they are combined with market structure and proper timing. Let us recap everything. The goal is to combine all 8 rules together: break of structure, flip zones, sweep zones, inducement, stacking zones, higher time frame alignment, well-priced zones, and fresh versus mitigated zones. When you apply these rules step by step, you can identify institutional supply and demand zones with the highest probability. Always wait for confirmation. Finish calm and confident, and you will begin trading with the same logic used by the big players. Now, let us move into trade management. This is the part that transforms a good setup into a winning trade. We will begin with entries, because the way you enter makes a major difference when trading around supply and demand zones. There are 3 reliable entry methods that you can use. First is the limit order entry. This approach is very straightforward. You place a buy limit at a demand zone or a sell limit at a supply zone. The main advantage is that you secure the best possible price. The drawback is that there is no confirmation, which means higher risk, but also the potential for higher reward. This method works best when the zone aligns with the higher time frame trend and shows a strong imbalance. That alignment is where this entry method truly performs at its best. Second is the change of character entry. This method provides confirmation before you commit to the trade. After price pulls back into your zone, wait for a clear shift in structure on the lower time frame. That shift becomes your signal. Once it appears, identify the high or low that caused the structural change and enter at that level. Your stop loss should be placed just beyond that structure. This approach reduces risk while increasing the probability of a successful outcome. Third, and the most refined method, is the liquidity sweep combined with a structure shift. Here's how it works. Price takes out equal highs or equal lows, sweeping liquidity, and then quickly reverses. When that reversal breaks structure or creates a clear change of character, it confirms that institutions have entered the market. That moment is your cue to follow. They are effectively revealing where smart money is positioning itself. Now let us move into stop-loss placement, because risk management is critical in trading. If you are using a limit order entry, place your stop just beyond the extreme of the zone. This allows the trade enough room to develop without exposing you to unnecessary risk. If you are entering with confirmation, such as a break of structure or a change of character, you can tighten your stop. Place it just below the low or above the high that caused the move. This approach keeps losses small and greatly improves your risk-to-reward profile. Next, let us cover take profits. Keep this part simple and structured. There are 3 solid approaches. First, target the next opposing zone. This is the next supply or demand area where price is likely to react. Second, use a fixed risk-to-reward ratio, such as 1:3 or 1:4. This helps maintain consistency and discipline over time. Third, scale out of the position. Take partial profits early and allow the remainder of the trade to run. This locks in gains while still giving the position room to grow. When you combine precise entries, proper stop-loss placement, and clear take-profit rules, you stop guessing and start trading like a professional, where discipline turns strong setups into consistent results. Before we wrap this up, I want to share 2 additional rules inspired by insights taught by David Paul. These final rules are not about entries or zones. They focus on what determines whether a trader can stay in the game long enough for any strategy to work. Rule number 9 is position sizing and risk exposure. This rule is about how much you risk, not how good your setup looks. To illustrate why this matters so much, I am going to play a short clip where this concept is explained in a very direct and practical way.
In a 50% system, unfortunately, you get 2 bad ones every 4 trades. Ladies and gentlemen, if you were to bet 50% of your coins on any one trade, you go bankrupt every 4. Gets worse. For 8 trades in a 50% system, you have a cluster of 3 bad ones in a row. That means, ladies and gentlemen, that if you were to bet 1/3 of your coins on any one trade, you go bankrupt every 8. And most people go bankrupt because they bet far too much on any one single trade.
Position sizing is critical because losing trades are unavoidable, even with a solid system. The difference between traders who fail and traders who last is not the strategy, but how much damage a losing streak can cause. When risk is kept small and consistent, no single trade can define your outcome. This is how professionals protect their capital and give probability time to work. And now, finally, rule number 10. This rule moves beyond risk and into decision-making itself. It is not about charts or structure, but about the mental state you bring to the market. To explain this properly, I'm going to play another short clip from David Paul that highlights why traders often act against their own rules.
We've got 2 brains. I'm sure you've all heard of the reptile brain and the front lobe brain. Well, I want you to think now, folks, that you're a summer's afternoon and the barbecue's going and kids are having fun playing football, right? And you're standing there. A ball comes out of nowhere. Football comes out of nowhere. What do? Duck. Yeah? Without thinking about it. Similar situation, but standing there Sunday afternoon, and somebody throws a ball at you very slowly. What do? You catch it. Okay. So if somebody chucks a ball at you really fast, believe it or not, and according to this professor of psychology at UCT, there's a part of your brain that actually reacts, and it reacts up to half a second faster than your normal brain, this reptile brain, and its job is to keep you out of trouble. And frequently that happens in our trading as well, where have you ever done something dumb that you've sworn you'll never do again? Okay. And that's because that reptile brain is in fact trying to keep you away from danger. Not a lion about to hit you, but in fact emotional danger. And another example is that you're driving along a road and a dog comes out. Do you swerve? Yeah, you probably do. And you've said to yourself 1,000 times that I'll never swerve again. I'm going to drive straight. But in the moment, that reptile brain. So there's a part of you, if you're not present, folks, there's a part of you that's designed by the Almighty, or whoever you believe in, to keep you safe and well, away from physical danger, away from emotional danger. And if you're not present, you'll find that you keep doing really dumb things. So when you're sitting in your trading desk, it's really important that you're totally and utterly there. Not thinking about the past, not thinking about the future, totally in that moment.
Rule number 10 is presence and emotional control. Trading decisions are often made under pressure, and when awareness drops, reactions take over. That is when traders abandon their plans, hesitate, or act impulsively. Professional traders train themselves to stay present and grounded at the point of execution. When discipline, risk control, and psychological awareness work together, trading becomes structured instead of emotional. This is what turns good analysis into consistent performance over time. Please also remember that the mission of the ComLucro channel is simple. We focus on giving traders clarity, confidence, and structure, so market decisions are made with discipline and intention. On this channel, you will find complete courses built as a true trading masterclass. We teach market structure, higher time frame trading, and supply and demand, always focused on understanding price behavior and executing with a professional mindset. We also go deep into trading psychology, risk management, and consistency, because trading is not just about charts. It is about mindset, discipline, and structured execution over time. There are no shortcuts. Real progress comes from continuous learning and practice. Our main courses include Smart Money Concepts, Technical Analysis for Day Traders, Trading Psychology, and the Wyckoff Method course. Alongside our courses, we share lessons and insights from some of the most respected names in trading, including professionals like David Paul, Alexander Elder, Tom Hugard, Mark Douglas, Al Brooks, and Larry Williams, whose experience has shaped how traders understand markets today. So, if this video helped you gain more clarity, leave a like. It helps this content reach other traders who are on the same journey. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our latest lessons and insights. Now, I would really like to hear from you. Which concept in this video made the biggest difference for you? What topic would you like us to cover next? Leave a comment below and let us know. If you want to go deeper with exclusive content, early access to videos, and additional tools to support your development, consider joining the ComLucro Trader community right here on YouTube. It is a simple way to support the channel and a smart investment in your own growth as a trader. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.